This is update 1 of Hurricane, the coming crash. I'm Dennis Hudson, your host at orangequant.com. It is Thursday night, the 18th of March, 2010. In the Hurricane series 1 through 12, I tried to remain professional, factual, and just show you charts and talk about a few facts in the market as to why I'm expecting a coming crash. Now, in this first update of the hurricane, I get to kind of relax and hang loose a little bit and speculate some. So I'm going to show you a mixture of some more facts and some of my speculation. Also tonight you're going to get to meet a special guest of mine, Guido the Enforcer. The market does have an enforcer, believe it or not. And his name is Guido, and Guido has spent quite a lot of time behind bars, and I just want you to meet him. And he has talked to me about a number of things, and he's going to share some things with you too. So we'll have him live on camera. You'll be able to see him and everything. And that's why we've called this segment, Who is Guido? Now what Guido does is maintain order in the markets, okay? If things get overheated, Guido brings them down. If things drop too low, Guido can bring them back up. That's Guido's job, to maintain an orderly market. And right now, as you will see, this market is so contaminated with disorder and disrespect for the principles of finance and economics that Guido, now out from behind bars, is ready to do his job. So, without further ado, and if you'd give Guido a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, I'd appreciate it. Guido, come on out here, guy. Come on out. Come on out, Guido. Say hi to the folks. Say hi. Say hi to them, huh? Yeah, Guido, we want to welcome you. We welcome you to the show. Have a seat over there, would you please? And we'll get on with the show, all right? Thank you. Now, folks, you may think that's an exaggeration, but when you see what I have to show you, you will think I should have had 3 or 4 Guidos on here. Heck, a whole army of them. Now, let me start off with some very dull facts, okay? But you want to remember these dull facts because they turn out to be very important to what's about to happen. What you're looking at is how a business stays afloat. And it's obvious, I mean, you would know this intuitively, but here it is in chart form. A business is in business and is viable as long as its liabilities don't exceed its cash flow. Very simple principle. But let's talk about banks in particular, okay, and their cash flow sources. As you can see, I've listed them here, and let's talk about them a little bit. You got trading, mortgages, payments coming in, government, stimulus, whatever, credit card payments, auto loan payments, dilution, and bonds. All right away in the present climate, the things we can strike off of this list are pretty obvious. Mortgage payments, if you remember the Credit Suisse chart from way early in the hurricane series, we've got increasing defaults, so the mortgage payments are declining and kind of evaporating. Government stimulus, that's off the table, there's just no appetite for it. Credit card payments, unemployment is up, that's dead in the water, and defaults are way up. Auto loan payments, well, ditto auto loan payments, that leaves them with cash flow sources of trading, dilution, and bonds. All right? Now, as far as trading is concerned, we won't strike it off, but let's just say we'll make a mark by it because long trading is exhausted. The market is exhausted. The top is almost in, as you saw in the earlier videos based on FLIR 2 and H205 and synthetic trend lines. So the only direction the banks can now trade for cash flow is short. Keep that in mind, please. The other thing they could do is dilution, and they're probably going to do some of that eventually, but pretty much that's a losing game because that's just going to drive down their stock price. Bonds, well, the interest on bonds for banks is kind of high, so they can't really do much in that area. They're left with trading short, okay? Now that's a heck of a lot of cash flow to lose just like that. Am I right, Guido, or am I right? Yeah, okay, I think we got the idea. Alrighty, that takes care of that. Now keep in mind, we are coming to who is Guido, but you got to have the basic building blocks to understand this. We have declining market volume, and if you don't believe that, if you think I'm making this little chart up, take a look. Here on a daily chart is the Dow 30 Industrials volume. See that yellow line going down, down, down? Okay, that's what's been going on ever since back around April, the end of March of last year, 2009. And notice how this declining volume correlates to price. Ever since then, going up, and you might wonder why, okay? So just keep this in mind, because I can't put it all on one screen for you. This is where we are right now, okay? All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500 volume. And here with the S&P 500, on a daily chart, you can see the same phenomenon that started back around April of last year, with price going up, volume gradually going down. Okay? And this is no accident. Retailers have been jumping ship, and a lot of other people have been jumping ship and just not sticking around for what they know is coming. At least the smart retailers and smart money out there. So pretty much the only ones fueling this recent run-up, or in large part, have been the banks. But there have been some other players in there who are going to get hurt, and you're going to find out who they are in a minute. So the point again is that volume's been going down and prices and indices have been going up. This can't go on forever, and eventually it reaches this point right here that we're looking at. And what that is down below is the forecast from FLIR 2 showing that at about somewhere between 1260 and 1330 is the top of the market. On the SPY it would be $126 to $133. So when that point comes, that's when you're going to see volume really spike upward and price really spike downward. Now the question becomes, why did that happen starting around April of last year? What was driving that? And by the way, I just put up this little thing here. This is something I did, published in May of 2007, warning everybody. It was a free download. You can still get it. Just go there to that URL. Anyway, again, what drove this? Why did this happen? Okay, if you go to this link if you like, or you can just take my word for it, and you'll get a flavor of why this took place. What happened back then was the Financial Accounting Standards Board changed a certain rule. It was related to what is called related to fair value and mark to market. And you can remember all the brouhaha about that. And they said, well, we're going to suspend mark to market. This was the response of a very major player in the financial world, as you can see. And this is from a senior advisor at Carlyle Group. And he is really ticked off to be talking like this. Okay, just bear this in mind, and we'll kind of come back to this subject. In that same article, you have this statement. The way it worked out was that Bank of America, because of the suspension of the mark-to-market rule, was able to convert $3.5 billion to income. Okay, in other words, these were losses on their books, but the rule allowed them to lay it on as income, so which nearly doubled their income for the year. And that's just one bank, one corporation. Now, we only got about 15 seconds left in this. We're going to have to go to a second video. What that means is that in 2009, 44%